As someone who works at Etsy's largest SEO company, I'm constantly learning new tricks that I wish I'd known when I first started selling on Etsy nearly 15 years ago. And while there are no magical overnight success hacks, there are a few advanced strategies that many sellers are unaware of. So in today's video, I'm sharing a few of the industry secrets that very few sellers know when it comes to Etsy's algorithm. For anyone who may be new here, my name is Starla Moore, founder of the Handmade Alpha Academy for Etsy sellers and manager at erank.com, Etsy's most popular SEO tool. And after 7 years of working for eRank, I've learned a lot about how Etsy's algorithm works, as well as some of the unique data that impacts how shops generate success on the platform. So let's discuss a few Etsy algorithm tricks and strategies that you may not be aware of in order to help you generate more traffic and sales. Did you know that there's an ideal time and day to list your products on Etsy? I didn't until our CEO at eRank, Anthony Wolf, generated this colorful graph. This heat map indicates both the day and time that purchases are made on Etsy. See these red zones? This is where the most money is being made. So based on our analysis of this data, we've concluded 3 very important things about listing products. First, Monday is hands down the best day to list items, with 17 to 18% of all sales on Etsy taking place on this day. Second, if you really want to get nitpicky, the best time to list on Monday is anywhere between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And third, if you make items over the weekend, it's probably best to publish them on Monday, since Saturdays and Sundays are Etsy's lowest conversion days. And sure, there are exceptions to this data, since some industries or individual sellers may see great sales on weekends, but the data doesn't lie. So if you're really trying to fish from the pond when it's the most full, there's no harm in targeting the best possible day based on what we know about Etsy's purchase behavior. You guys have heard me say it over and over again, but I say it because it's true. Having a defined niche is important, not just for your own brand recognition and growth, but for Etsy's algorithm. Through our research over the years, we speculate that the algorithm favors topical consistency, or consistency of specific keywords. For example, a shop that exclusively specializes in silver jewelry and that has a ton of listings with silver jewelry related keywords will likely rank higher in search than a shop that just happens to sell a single silver necklace alongside mugs, shirts, and so on. This is because Etsy recognizes that our jewelry shop has authority in this niche, and that they're very likely to deliver the best product and best experience to the customer. This is also why all of the top-selling Etsy shops in the world have a defined niche. So if you're a seller who's struggling to grow or who can't seem to compete with bigger shops, it may be time to start thinking about selecting a defined niche. Remember, keyword consistency. If you've been selling on Etsy for a while, you probably already know about listing quality scores and how they impact your rank in search. If not, you definitely need to, so be sure to grab my free Etsy SEO course up here. But assuming that you're already familiar with listing quality scores, you probably also already know that new listings get a slight boost in search. This is because a new listing has no positive sales history or reviews, and rather than unfairly ranking this listing at the bottom of search pages, Etsy instead gives new listings a slight boost in search in order to gauge how customers interact with these listings. This boosted window is a crucial time for our listing, because during this time frame, Etsy is essentially deciding where this listing should more permanently rank in search. And getting traffic, sales, and reviews during this boosted time frame is an amazing way to help grow your listing quality score, thus ensuring your new listing is seen by shoppers. Again, this is why I was so excited about this heat map. If you've been selling for as long as I have, you may remember the days when sellers would post links to their listings in Etsy Facebook groups and ask everyone to go heart their new items in order to help boost their listings, which unfortunately doesn't work because Etsy can tell that this traffic was external. Remember, anything that can be gamed isn't going to help you on Etsy. However, what does help your listing quality score is sales of that item, even if that traffic comes externally. In short, Etsy doesn't care where those sales came from, they just care that you made a sale. Now, with this in mind, building a strong social media presence is an amazing way to drive traffic to new listings right when they're posted, which, of course, helps you to build up your listing quality scores during that crucial window. This one isn't necessarily Etsy algorithm related, but it is SEO related, underused, and pretty darn advanced. Did you know that ChatGPT is Etsy's biggest traffic referrer, even more so than PayPal? Yeah, I was shocked too. So even if you're not on board with the AI train, it may still be worth catering your listing to how AI-based searches work, rather than just Etsy search. Unfortunately, what sellers often misunderstand is how to use their descriptions in a way that speaks to ChatGPT. But think about it. AI is attempting to mimic human language, which means that the best way to appeal to it is to also use natural human language. Think about questions that people might ask ChatGPT. What's the best gift for under $50 that I could get my mom for her birthday? What's a traditional and meaningful 13th anniversary gift idea for my wife? Or, I'm decorating a small apartment. What are some space-saving wall decor options that are renter-friendly? Right now, Etsy is the only platform integrated with ChatGPT for direct checkout. So when filling out your descriptions, don't be afraid to get creative with the use cases that someone might be asking ChatGPT for help with. This is a step that very few sellers are taking right now because it's still new, and as with everything, it's the early adopters who tend to see success from new strategies. Our last Etsy algorithm trick is one that every seller should know before they take a trip this summer, especially if you plan to put your shop on vacation mode. But before I share this last tip, I do want to share that the Etsy SEO course that I mentioned a few minutes ago was recently updated for 2026. I've been selling on Etsy for over 15 years, and for the last 7 of those years, I've been a manager at eRank, where I spend time building proven strategies for sellers around what is arguably the hardest part of running an Etsy shop: the SEO part. Inside this toolbox, you'll find a collection of my very best Etsy SEO tutorials, all laid out in the exact order that I recommend watching them. Of all the free stuff that I offer, this one is definitely the most loved and most impactful. So if you're one of those sellers who still feels confused about how Etsy's algorithm works, be sure to grab the free toolbox right here and in the link down below. Okay, back to business. Some sellers refer to vacation mode on Etsy as a death wish, reporting a complete halt in traffic and sales upon their return. And because of this, many sellers assume that Etsy punishes sellers for using the vacation mode feature when they need to take a break. But remember what I said about your listing quality score? Listing quality is important. It's a way for Etsy to show potential customers the items that are most popular, items that are newly listed, and items that have a history of sales and positive reviews. So what happens when your listings are on vacation mode? Just like sold out listings and deactivated listings, when you place your shop on vacation mode, shoppers aren't able to engage with your listings in search. Your listing quality score doesn't get wiped clean. It just kind of goes to sleep for a while. Shoppers are unable to discover your listings in search, click on them, favorite them, or buy them, which means that your listing quality score goes dormant. The longer you go on vacation mode, the longer those listings are dormant, and the more of a drop in traffic that you may notice when you return. So when returning from vacation mode, we just need to wake those listings up so they come alive again. How do you do this? The best way to bring activity back to your shop after a period of dormancy is to spend a bit of time driving your own traffic. Before going on vacation mode, I recommend planning a short marketing campaign that you'll execute right when you return from your break. Maybe you run a 3-day flash sale that you advertise all over all your social media accounts. Maybe you send out an email to your email list, or maybe you add an all-new line of products to help drive new engagement to your shop. Ideally on Monday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. if you want to get really scientific about it. The focus should be on getting people in your shop. We want Etsy to notice that you're back and ready to sell again, and by driving your own traffic, you don't have to wait for shoppers to slowly discover you organically in search. You can send a flood directly to your shop in one big wave. Remember, success on Etsy is about understanding how Etsy's algorithm works so that you can focus on strategies that help to build and maintain your listing quality scores. These are like the scoreboards that tell Etsy what your item is, who they should show it to, and eventually how frequently they should show it to these ideal shoppers. The more you nurture and grow your listing quality scores, the more likely it is that you'll build a long-term and profitable business on Etsy. Until next time, Pookie.